Yes, they met. Yes, that was against William's wishes, but there was no sense that I'm getting that Charles laid out the red carpet for Harry.
Picture this. Prince Harry travels all the way across the Atlantic, dons his finest attire for a royal tea at Clarence House, and walks away with nothing more than a half-filled teacup and a forgotten moment. It's the perfect image of wasted effort, and that's exactly what happened to Harry.
These two images from Meghan's mole side by side show why Harry looked so miserable on leaving Clarence House.
And the internet can't get enough of it. According to several sources, this marked Harry's first face-to-face meeting with King Charles in more than a year, a long-awaited reunion that has set social media ablaze with speculation and commentary. The unexpected moment has everyone talking about what this could mean for their relationship moving forward.
But ever since he hooked up with Meghan, he has spectacularly lost his popularity. He seems to be obsessed with getting it.
A so-called royal peace talk that ended after just 55 minutes.
This meeting actually went for a much shorter period than what the rest of the mainstream media is reporting.
The online reaction is savage, with many claiming it wasn't a meeting, but more of a failed speed date. The internet is flooded with memes and brutal captions, such as, "Harry showed up for the crown but walked away with leftovers. Ouch." And here's the punchline. Sources reveal the private conversation lasted less than 20 minutes. Yes, you read that correctly.
The feud between William and Harry is as bitter as ever.
By the time the biscuits hit the table, the conversation was practically over. But here's the real bombshell. Reports are claiming Harry stormed off without a thing in hand after asking for support, titles, and security, only to find himself in another PR mess. So the real question is this: did King Charles just crush Harry's last chance at mending things, or did Harry walk straight into a royal setup? What went down in those 55 minutes could flip everything on its head.
Yes, they met, but King Charles gave Harry the cold shoulder with no special
They called it a private tea, but let's be real, this was far from a cozy catch-up. Palace insiders say Clarence House felt less like a family residence and more like the set of a tense spy drama. Security was everywhere, cameras blocked, and staff moved in hushed silence, as if something huge was about to blow. Here's the kicker. The whole meeting lasted just 55 minutes. That's shorter than an episode of The Crown. And at least that show gives us some juicy cliffhangers. Sources say Harry and the King only had about 20 minutes of real, private conversation. The rest was filled with protocol, security checks, and a lot of painfully awkward waiting. Online viewers had a field day, joking it was less a royal summit and more like standing in line at the DMV, just with nicer wallpaper. And then there was Queen Camilla. Her joining the table instantly changed the energy. For Harry, who's openly criticized her before, it was like walking into a board meeting only to see your least favorite manager in charge.
She was the third person in the marriage. She needed to rehabilitate her.
Public opinion quickly zeroed in on the irony. Harry might have come expecting a heart-to-heart with his father, but instead, he got the royal power couple tag team. The funniest part? No official statement from the palace, no cheerful exit photos, nothing. Just complete silence, which made it all seem even more suspicious. If this was supposed to be about healing, why did it feel more like a royal business deal that was abruptly cut short? But here's where things really get interesting. What Harry allegedly asked for next had even seasoned royal reporters gasping. Multiple sources claim Harry came prepared with an agenda thicker than a royal history book. He wasn't just there for a casual chat over Earl Grey. He was there to negotiate, and the rumored requests, they definitely turned heads. First up, financial support. Some online joked it sounded more like a pitch on Shark Tank than a family reunion. Then, the topic of titles for the kids came up. Public reaction was instant. Some saw it as Harry fighting for his family, while others thought it was more about clout than crowns. And buried among all that were requests for security and even coverage for growing legal fees. If true, that's one hefty list of royal favors. Commentators said the vibe wasn't humble. It was urgent, like showing up at a family dinner and demanding Wi-Fi, cash, and car keys before dessert. Public opinion didn't hold back, with one viral post comparing it to asking Santa for every toy in the catalog and then wondering why the sleigh felt empty.
is ridiculous. Once Meghan treated as an HRH, that's the most realistic on the list where you can go, I can see these two having the audacity to say that people need to bow and curtsy to Prince Harry's.
But here's the real twist. While Harry laid out his entire wish list, King Charles's response was nothing short of frosty. Do you think the king was right to stay cold and professional, or should he have shown more of a fatherly touch? Let us know what you think in the comments. So, how did Charles react to Harry's royal shopping spree? According to sources, with a silence so cold it could freeze Buckingham Palace's fountains, witnesses described his tone as calm, measured, and completely unmoved. Like a teacher who catches you cheating, but doesn't even raise an eyebrow. Public opinion framed it as the ultimate royal response, delivered with zero drama. And here's where it gets even juicier. Insiders said Charles stuck rigidly to protocol, completely ditching any personal emotion. Translation: he didn't even give Harry the satisfaction of a heated exchange. Instead, it was full-on monarchy mode, icy and unflinching. People online compared it to trying to return something at a store, only to be told, sorry, no refunds, no exchanges. Policy's policy, Camilla's presence at the table supposedly made the refusal even more sealed shut. With her there, Charles wasn't the dad in the living room, but more the CEO in a boardroom. Memes flooded social media, casting Charles as an impenetrable wall of stone, while Harry was portrayed as someone bouncing a tennis ball off it, hoping for a crack. But Harry wasn't done yet. His response to that royal wall, that's when things really started to fall apart. When the meeting wrapped up, the real drama played out outside Clarence house. According to witnesses, Harry walked out with a speed that practically screamed, "Meeting's over, nothing to see here." No smiles, no waves, not even a warm father-son goodbye. Just a swift exit that felt more like a fire drill than a family reunion. Public reaction was immediate, with memes comparing his exit to leaving a group project where you did all the work but got zero credit. Others poked fun at the timing. 55 minutes in total, less than 20 minutes of private conversation, and Harry leaving with absolutely nothing. No doggy bag of leftovers. Online, it was dubbed the shortest royal comeback tour in history. Even the photos told the story. Charles looking regal and composed, while Harry was snapped with what many saw as a frustrated scowl. Commentators pointed out the optics. One man looked every bit the monarch in control, while the other looked like he'd just lost a very awkward family argument.
Been on this huge charm offensive. Here I am, this charity, I'm like a great guy. Oh, look at me sword fighting with this kid. It's classic sort of royal visit stuff.
The fallout wasn't just about Harry leaving empty-handed, it was the media frenzy that followed. The palace stayed silent, but the headlines painted the tea as a reunion, even suggesting it was a step toward reconciliation. Online, however, no one was buying it. Memes flooded in, mocking the 55-minute meeting as more of a dentist appointment than a family reunion. Royal commentators called Charles's silence a clever PR move, but critics argued it made Harry look isolated, while Charles appeared steady and composed. The media tried to keep the tone positive, but the internet turned Harry into the punchline of his own story.
Sykes of the Daily Beast said, was that a settlement meeting? Does Prince Harry want to see his dad to say, what can I get out of you before I lose the opportunity?
The fallout wasn't just about Harry. Meghan and their entire brand took a hit. When he walked out empty-handed, it rippled through their media empire. Without fresh royal connections, platforms like Netflix and Spotify risk losing their shine. Critics joked their deals were like a reality show with no drama. Survivor, but everyone politely shares coconuts. Meghan now faces pressure to keep the spotlight alive with managed interviews or leaks. Every denied request and cold meeting makes it harder to keep their insider image intact. The optics of Harry's exit were brutal. Charles kept his calm, while Harry looked more isolated. This wasn't just about tea, it was about power, image, and legacy. Charles's silence was a reminder of who controls the narrative. Harry's move may now risk becoming a chapter in a saga of disappointment. And if you think this is all the drama, Meghan's name is back in the headlines, with her father's comments shaking things up. Miss the details? Catch our previous video. You won't want to miss it.